The year was 1970. A young nurse named Donna received a peculiar gift. It was a Raggedy Ann doll. Her mother bought it at an antique shop. The doll had an innocent appearance, but it held a dark secret. The doll's origins are shrouded in mystery. Some say it once belonged to a young girl. The girl died tragically. Her spirit became trapped inside the doll. Others believe the doll was cursed by a malevolent entity. At first, Donna didn't think much of the doll. It was a gift from her mother. A simple, old-fashioned toy that seemed to have no special significance. Donna, a young nurse, was busy with her demanding job and didn't have much time to ponder over a doll. She placed it on her bed thinking it would add a touch of nostalgia to her room. She placed it on her bed. It was just a harmless toy. Or so she thought. The doll had a serene, almost innocent expression and its eyes seemed to follow her around the room, but Donna dismissed it as a trick of the light. It was just a harmless toy, or so she thought. But soon, things began to change. Donna started to notice small, unsettling details. The doll's position would be slightly different from how she left it. At first she blamed her own memory, thinking she must have moved it without realizing. Strange things began to happen. The changes in the doll's position became more pronounced. It wasn't just a slight shift anymore, sometimes it would be facing a completely different direction. Donna's unease grew, but she tried to rationalize it. Maybe her roommate Angie was playing a prank on her. The doll started to move. It would change positions. Donna and Angie began to keep a closer eye on it. They would leave the doll in one spot and come back to find it in another. It was as if the doll had a life of its own. Sometimes, it would even disappear. They would search the entire apartment, only to find the doll in the most unexpected places. It was as if it was playing a game with them, a game that neither of them wanted to play. Donna and her roommate Angie were puzzled. They couldn't understand what was happening. They started to feel a sense of dread every time they entered their apartment. The once cozy home now felt like a place of unease and fear. They found the doll in different rooms. It was no longer confined to Donna's bedroom. Sometimes it would be in the living room, other times in the kitchen. Each time they found it, the doll seemed to be mocking them with its new position. It was always in strange positions. They would find it sitting upright on the couch, lying on the kitchen counter, or even perched on a windowsill. The doll's movements were becoming more and more unsettling. They would find it with its arms crossed or legs sprawled. The positions were unnatural, almost as if the doll was trying to communicate something. Donna and Angie were at their wits' end, unable to explain the bizarre occurrences. Notes began to appear around their apartment. At first they thought it was a joke, but the notes were too eerie to be funny. They were written in a childlike scrawl and the messages were disturbing. The notes were written in a childlike scrawl. They pleaded for help. "Help us, save us, and don't leave us," were some of the messages. Donna and Angie were terrified. They knew they had to find out what was behind these strange events before it was too late. Frightened, Donna and Angie sought help. They contacted a medium. The medium held the doll. She went into a trance. The medium said the doll was possessed. A young girl's spirit inhabited it. The girl's name was Annabelle. Annabelle's spirit seemed harmless. She just wanted to be loved. She wanted to stay with Donna and Angie. Donna felt sympathy for the spirit. She allowed Annabelle to stay. This was a grave mistake. The paranormal activity intensified. Objects moved on their own. Loud noises echoed through the apartment. Donna and Angie were terrified. They reached out to renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens were famous for their work with the occult. They had investigated countless hauntings. They sensed a powerful presence in the doll. The Warrens concluded that Annabelle was not possessed by a young girl. It was something far more sinister. Annabelle's true nature was far more sinister than anyone had imagined. What seemed like an innocent, albeit eerie, doll was actually a vessel for something far more malevolent. The doll had been given to a young nurse named Donna as a gift, but it wasn't long before strange occurrences began to unfold. The doll would move on its own, and cryptic messages would appear around the apartment. Donna and her roommate Angie were terrified and sought help from a medium. The medium revealed that the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins had taken residence in the doll. However, this was just a ruse. The Warrens believed Annabelle was a demonic entity. Renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in to investigate the strange happenings. They quickly realized that the spirit of Annabelle Higgins was not what it seemed. the Warrens concluded that a demonic force was using the doll to manipulate and terrorize the household. This entity was not the spirit of a deceased child, but a demon pretending to be one, aiming to create chaos and fear. It was a demon masquerading as a child. The demon's deception was a calculated move to gain the trust of Donna and Angie. By pretending to be a harmless child spirit, it hoped to lower their defenses and eventually possess one of them. The Warrens knew that the longer the doll stayed in the apartment, the stronger the demon's hold would become. The demon's goal was to possess Donna's soul. Donna, being the primary owner of the doll, was the main target. The demon aimed to break her will and take control of her body. The Warrens explained that the doll was merely a conduit, a tool for the demon to achieve its sinister objective. Donna's fear and anxiety were feeding the entity, making it more powerful with each passing day. The Warrens knew they had to act quickly. Time was of the essence. The longer the doll remained in the apartment, the greater the risk to Donna and Angie. The Warrens decided that the best course of action was to remove the doll from the environment and contain it. They prepared themselves for the task, knowing that any misstep could have dire consequences. Ed Warren took the doll from the apartment. With Lorraine providing spiritual support, Ed carefully approached the doll. He knew that any sudden movements or displays of fear could provoke the entity. With steady hands, he lifted the doll and prepared to transport it to a safer location. He carried it carefully, knowing the danger it posed. Every step was taken with caution. Ed was acutely aware that the demon could lash out at any moment. The atmosphere was tense, and the air seemed to crackle with malevolent energy. Lorraine followed closely, reciting prayers to keep the entity at bay. He didn't want to anger the entity inside. The demon was already agitated by the Warrens' intervention. Any sign of disrespect or fear could escalate the situation. Ed maintained a calm demeanor, focusing on the task at hand. The safety of Donna and Angie depended on his ability to remain composed. The drive back to the Warrens' home was uneventful. Despite the tension, the journey was surprisingly calm. The doll sat ominously in the back seat, but there were no signs of the entity's presence. Ed and Lorraine remained vigilant, knowing that the demon could strike at any moment. But they knew this was just the beginning. The Warrens understood that removing the doll was only the first step. The real challenge lay ahead. They needed to find a way to contain the entity and prevent it from causing further harm. The battle against the malevolent force was far from over, and the Warrens were prepared to face whatever came next. As Ed drove home with the doll, he felt uneasy. He could sense a malevolent presence in the car. The engine sputtered. The steering wheel became difficult to turn. It was as if something was trying to take control of the car. Ed quickly pulled over. He sprinkled holy water on the doll. The car started working again. He continued his journey home. He knew the entity was powerful. He was determined to contain it. The Warrens placed Annabelle in a locked case. The case was made of blessed oak and glass. They kept the case in their occult museum. The museum housed numerous cursed objects. The Warrens believed this would contain the entity. Despite being locked away, Annabelle's reign of terror wasn't over. Visitors to the museum have reported feeling uneasy near the doll's case. Some claim to have seen the doll move its head or limbs. Others say they have been scratched by an unseen force. Annabelle's story has captivated the public imagination. The doll has been featured in numerous books, documentaries, and movies. She has become a pop culture icon. She serves as a chilling reminder of the power of the unknown. The Warrens' Occult Museum, with Annabelle as its star attraction, continues to draw crowds. They come from all over the world. They want to see the infamous doll. They want to experience the unsettling feeling of being in her presence. Annabelle's story raises questions about the nature of evil. Is it something that exists independently, or is it a manifestation of our deepest fears and anxieties? The tale of Annabelle, a seemingly innocent doll turned sinister, forces us to confront these unsettling questions head-on. It forces us to confront our deepest fears. The idea that an inanimate object could harbor malevolent forces is both terrifying and fascinating. It challenges our understanding of reality and the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, there's no denying the power of belief. Belief shapes our perceptions, our actions, and even our reality. It can turn a simple doll into a vessel of fear and dread, influencing the minds of those who come into contact with it. It's this belief that gives Annabelle her power. The stories and legends that surround her amplify her malevolence, feeding into a cycle of fear and fascination. Each retelling of her story adds another layer to her dark mystique. It fuels our fascination with her story. The more we hear about Annabelle, the more intrigued we become. We are drawn to the mystery, the fear, and the unknown. It's a testament to the human psyche's complex relationship with fear and curiosity. Annabelle's story serves as a chilling reminder. It reminds us that there are forces in this world that we may never fully understand. These forces can manifest in ways that challenge our perceptions and beliefs, leaving us questioning the nature of reality itself. There are forces in this world we may never fully understand. The unknown can be a source of both fear and wonder. It beckons us to explore, to question, and to seek answers, even if those answers remain elusive. It's a reminder to be careful. When we delve into the unknown, we must do so with respect and caution. The stories of haunted dolls and supernatural occurrences serve as warnings to tread lightly in realms we do not fully comprehend. Be respectful of the unknown. Cultures around the world have long held traditions and rituals to honor and appease the unseen forces. These practices remind us of the importance of humility and reverence in the face of the mysterious. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows. The unknown can be a source of endless fascination and fear. It is a realm where our imaginations run wild and where the line between reality and fiction blurs. In the end, the power of belief is a force that shapes our world in profound and unexpected ways.